get myself situated here, because I like to be over near the window where I get enough light that you can see how beautiful I look today. In fact, I didn't plan it, but I noticed that my vase of red poppies matched my blouse. That's kind of nice. You know, you like to keep things matching. So, I don't have anything special to tell. We know today is Father's Day. I want to wish all of the fathers a good day. I hope they appreciate what their families do for them. And I hope the families appreciate what Dad has done for them. Now, it's been a long time since I've celebrated any Father's Day. In fact, I guess you'd say it was 1976. Long time ago, isn't it? 1976. That was the year of the bicentennial Declaration of Independence. My dad had pancreatic cancer. So he died in the last day of August. Father's Day was in June. That was our last Father's Day. Now, I just bypassed that day as any other day. I've gotten used to bypassing a lot of special days because I don't get included. Valentine's Day is one of those days, you know. But this year I did pretty good with Valentine's Day. Had a lot of good YouTube friends that recognized it's Valentine's Day for Granny Pat too. And I love getting that kind of attention. Really nice. So, I don't have a plan what I was going to talk about. I just first wanted to remind you that it's hard for me to come up with stories now. I've already put 300 stories on YouTube. That covers a lot of time and a lot of years. So, let's just say, getting low, the basket of eggs is getting low. In fact, I had a scrambled egg and toast for breakfast this morning. I never eat eggs and toast for breakfast. I usually have a Jimmy Dean's sausage biscuit. They're pretty good. But today I said, yeah, I'll have scrambled egg. It's good. Didn't have it till 12 o'clock noon. I slept late. I just felt like sleeping late. Got up early, ran to the bathroom. Too early to get up. I went back to bed. And the next time I looked at the clock, it was 12 o'clock. Well, who dictates what time you eat breakfast? 12 o'clock's good for me, and that's when I had scrambled egg and toast and a glass of juice. I'm not a coffee drinker, you know that. I'm really kind of what my mother would call choir. She's just choir in the head. Yeah, that's what it is, just choir. It's like people who say, y'all come, y'all come. Y'all is not in my vocabulary. Don't care where you're from. I don't use that word. But I didn't stop my mother from telling me I was choir. That may be a new one for you. You know it means Queer, queer. That has different meanings. But for my mother, it was right here, choir in the head. Like I said, no plan for this video. It's just whatever come to this square head. Kind of like my top, though. I put it on special for you. But I didn't plan the red poppies, but I still think it makes a nice background. Don't you think so, too? And my hair looks fairly nice. It left over from last night. They told me my hair was pretty, and I agreed with them. But I want to tell you about last night. This grandson and his new bride. She's new because she's still under 2 years, been. And I've never met her. Jan and Charlie picked me up about 7 o'clock. We drove down to Carson's. Really nice restaurant. Nice. A little bit pricey. But once a year, what difference does it make? So we met them. We waited inside till Trevor and Chloe showed up. Now, said to the waitress, "You'll recognize our companions because they're both over 6 feet tall. They'll be together." They walked in. I'm 5 feet tall. I was looking up at my grandson, 6'3". I was looking up at Chloe, 6 feet, very slender, much like a model. She'd make a good model. We take our seats at the table. I said, okay, I had to sit between Trevor and Chloe. Jan and Charlie could find their own chairs. But I wanted to be where I could talk back and forth to the two of them because there's a lot of time to be made up. Hadn't seen them in years. I think it was 4 or 5 years. I don't want to exaggerate, but I believe it was at least 4 years the last time I saw Trevor. He's a very handsome young man. Very pleasant. So we had our dinner. We talked about their wedding. And they said they were on their way to Norris, Tennessee, to the park. They'd been there. Well, she hadn't, but Trevor had been there with his family on various occasions when they would get together once a year. During the summer, they'd all meet at Norris Lake. That's what they were going to do this time. Now, I just put 2 and 2 together and just said, okay, my son will be there. He's the father. Trevor will be there. He's not a parent yet. His brother Riley will be there. I haven't seen him in 5 years. Or his children. They live in Florida. He will be there too. So there'll be 2 fathers there. And they, by now, are probably meeting up in the park for the next few days. So I got Trevor for 2 hours. It was great 2 hours, though. His new bride is about as pleasant a person as I have ever met. She's a jewel. They are a match. I will tell you that. They make a good match. She's so delightful, so attractive. It just amazes me how tall and slender she is. She would make a perfect model. In fact, she showed me some pictures of her 2 sisters. They are models. Yeah, that's how it goes. Well, we had a very good evening. I couldn't ask for it to be any better than that. So they're in Tennessee by now. Jan and Charlie are out on the farm. I think they're out on the farm. They didn't tell me their plan for today after they went to church. I'm here in my pretty red top, my pretty poppy behind me, and I'm trying to make up for the last few days that I haven't told you any stories. Sometimes the mind just goes well, let's just say it goes to sleep. And I don't want to repeat the same stories over and over and over. I'm just going to talk. I finished my breakfast, sitting on the couch doing that. I don't have a table and chairs in the kitchen, not big enough for table and chairs. I always just sit down in front of my iPad, and I sometimes even watch my own video and think, I don't remember saying that. Yeah, I'm at that age, you know that already. Yeah, I don't remember that. So I got to thinking back and back and back. Many years ago. I can go that far back, you know. It's like Methuselah. I can go way back. All right. I got to thinking about my older brother. You know all about him. You know that he died during World War II. But the one thing I never did tell you was he was married and a father at the time of his death. He was there when his baby girl was born, and a month later, he was in the Army Air Corps. 1 month. He had 1 month with his new baby, and then he was gone. He never saw her again. I thought about her. I thought about him. She only lived to be 27 years old. She had diabetes. Bad. Yeah. Insulin, that sort of thing. Beautiful girl. Beautiful. In fact, she was in the Miss Kentucky contest, you know, for Miss America. Beautiful young girl. Talented. Her dad was talented. Her mother was talented. It just ran in that family. So there wasn't much time with Diane, and we didn't get to see her very often because we didn't live in the same town. Anyway, I thought about my brother. He was a super nice guy, so I've been told. I just remember the little things. The day he gave my sister and me this pretty little necklace. It was like one of these 1927 reproduction jewelry. She had the amber stone. I had the amethyst. She still has hers. I don't know whatever happened to mine. We were just about 5 and 8 years old. Yeah, when we got those. So I remembered the day first I was in the house and I wanted a penny from Mama. I wanted to go to Elsie's store and get me some candy. I asked for a penny. Mama wouldn't give it to me. Well, my oldest sister Inez was married. She already had 1 child, and she lived on the street behind us. We could go out the back door, cross a field, and there was her house. We could sit at the breakfast table and look out and see her front porch. Okay. Mama wouldn't give me a penny so I could go to Elsie's store. I'll just go over to Inez's. She'll give me a penny. I went down the steps, across the backyard, and just before I got to the edge of the yard and the field, I heard a noise. a noise. What was it? I looked ahead of me, probably 20 feet. And there, well, that's where the rose bushes were. There was a fence across the backyard and up the side of our house, covered in rose bushes and vines. That you couldn't see the fence for all of the vines. But right there at the end of that fence, I saw a head like this. Does that tell you anything? It was going like this. And out of its mouth was a, now this is not a very good example, but so you get the idea. It was a snake. That was one thing I knew. It was a snake. But it was a rattlesnake. Oh, I heard that. I heard that noise and I could see it. I could see it. And I saw that tongue. It's what you call a forked tongue. I didn't know that with that forked tongue, they could sense danger. They could sense, taste, and smell. And that's why the tongue would come forward and the head going from side to side. That was up in the air like this, and there was that big head going from side to side. Now, it didn't matter what it was, or even that it was a snake, as far as I was concerned. That was the scariest thing I'd ever seen in my life. And it was making rattling noises. And I panicked. Boy, did I panic. 5 years old, remember. I flipped around. I ran out of my shoes. The shoes stayed on the ground. I started around the house. Didn't go back up the back steps and through the back door like I had come out. No, I went the full length of the house, screaming bloody murder. My feet didn't touch the ground, I don't think. I didn't feel it. I ran around. I ran across the front porch, jerked that screen door open. I was still screaming. Ran all the way through the house, and my brother was in the kitchen with Mama. And I was trying my best to tell him it was a snake. It was a snake. I thought it was still chasing me. See, as I ran along the side of the house, I couldn't see it, but I thought it was right on my heels. I knew it was right behind me. It really wasn't. But what did I know? So when I was able to tell my brother that snake was after me, it was chasing me around the house where I saw it, he didn't hesitate. He grabbed the broom on the back porch. Mama kept the broom right by the back door. He grabbed that broom, went out that door. He took those steps 3 at a time, running across the yard. We could see him from the kitchen window. He was going after that snake. He got to the end of the fence, and I can remember seeing him throw that broom back, and he came around and hit the end of the bushes on the fence. And you could hear the snake. It was running through the bushes. You couldn't see it, but you could hear that. He hit the fence again, and it continued on up. And of course, when it got to the corner, it had to make a turn. and go down the side of the house. Well, he kept his distance, but he still had the broom in his hand. Didn't spot the rattlesnake again. We never saw it again. But it's funny, I was 5 years old, and I remember it like it was last month. That was my big brother protecting me. He was going to kill that snake. But then the snake disappeared. We never saw it again. Well, he never got to celebrate a Father's Day. There hasn't been Father's Day since 1976. My son is celebrating Father's Day with his two sons, one of them being a father in Tennessee. I'm here at home. I don't mind. You know, it doesn't bother me. Those things don't bother me as far as being part of the celebration, because I've gone many, many years now without celebrating a lot of things with family. I'm going to go to Kroger. I discovered I had space in my refrigerator, room to put something. What's missing? Let me think. I'm out of cabbage. I need green pepper. I always keep green pepper on hand. Eggs. I've only got 3 eggs left. You can't have fewer than 3 eggs in your refrigerator, because whatever you're going to make is going to call for 3 eggs. So I need to replenish my eggs. Another thing, I need new toothpaste. I'm squeezing that tube now. You know, do you remember when toothpaste came in those little metal, I don't know what they are, tubes that you could roll it up at the end, and you kept rolling and rolling and rolling till there wasn't but 1 drop of toothpaste left in that tube, and you used it. Now they're made out of plastic. I can't roll that tube up. You can't roll it. I just push and push and push, trying to get the last of the toothpaste, because that's one thing we never let go to waste, is toothpaste. We'll throw away a half can of peas. We'll throw away the leftover green beans. Oh, we don't care about using the last of the paper towels. But you don't waste your toothpaste. I use Sensodyne. See, my teeth are crooked. They kind of overlap a little bit. They used to be white, very white. But as you get older, your teeth change color just like your hair does. Sometimes I've seen people's eyes change color too. Now my eyes used to be green. Look close. They don't look green to me. They look like they're getting kind of dark. Who cares? Now there's something I was going to show you, I think. Hold on now. I'll be right with you. This had the battery running low. And let's see if I got the picture on here. This is something I want you to see. You see that man? That's my father. He had long retired from his construction work. He's sitting in church pew at a little church on Park Hill. That's the church he built. He was the adult Bible teacher there until he died. 15 straight years he taught the adult Bible class. Never missed a Sunday. And I remember they said the last Sunday he taught, the pastor of the church got up before the adult class and said, Mr. Eastep won't be coming back. He had pancreatic cancer and could no longer leave the house. When he said he won't be coming back, he will no longer be teaching the adult Bible class. 2 brothers, they were twins, had sat in that, the class was in the auditorium of the church. It was a small church. They had sat there every Sunday listening to my dad teaching the adult Bible class. And when the Sunday school class was over, they left the church. When the pastor said, Mr. Eastep won't be coming back, those 2 men got up and walked out of the church. That's the story I was told. So I want you to get a good look at my dad. He didn't have a lot of hair, but he had enough to, it had to be cut at the barber shop. And I don't know what you see when you look at that face. But that's my dad, shortly before he died. Put that aside. Now, I don't know if there's anything I need to tell you, because it's a beautiful day. Well, it's a good day for me to go to Kroger's while everybody else is eating chocolate cake and ice cream. Some of them probably eating chicken and dumplings. But I'll tell you what, that scrambled egg and toast tastes pretty good to me. I don't mind that at all. I've got to come up with some new stories, but I want you to be patient with me. You've been so good, so faithful about responding to all of my videos. And I can tell you this, I look at one of my videos and it says, it'll have a heading and I'll think, well, what did I talk about? So I start watching. It's one maybe I made a year and a half ago. So I think, well, I got to see what I said in this story. I don't remember anything about it. So I start watching it. It's like watching someone else. It's not, I don't even feel like I'm watching myself. And I don't remember the story either. So I'm sitting there watching this lady telling her own story. And it's as new to me as it was to you the first time you saw it. Now you'll have to admit, if you've been keeping up with me, you can say, I don't remember anything about that. Go down the list of 300 stories. You'll find the one. Or just pick out any one. Say, I don't remember that story. Watch it. And sure enough, it'll be as new to you the second time as it was to me the second time. So, you'll never have to run out of my videos. You can just go back. You've read books before, haven't you? That you said, I really like that book. I think I'll read it again. It was worth reading again. And last night, this young lady, who is now my granddaughter-in-law, she said to me, Granny Pat, I read your book. she read my book. Amen. My nose is running. I said, you read my book? And she said, yes, I read the whole book. I said, I can't believe it. See, I don't expect young people to show any interest. But now and then, one does. And I was just thrilled to think that this young granddaughter-in-law that I'd never met yet had read my book. I said, I've got 2 more books. I'll be sending them to you. She is so delightful. I know she's going to be a jewel. She already is. And I know that my grandson, Trevor, made a good choice when he took her as his wife. And I'm looking forward to a lot more attention from them. And for those of you who live in other countries, Jan was telling Trevor how many different countries that viewers were coming from. And I heard her saying Ireland and England and Australia, and then I picked up on it. And he said he and Chloe had just been to those countries. They had just been to Amsterdam and England. She was there more or less on business because she's a designer. He went with her, and I said, oh, you went to England without me? Oh, wouldn't I have loved that? But I'm so glad they got to go, because when I talk about my trips to England and Scotland and Wales, they know what I'm talking about. And they have stories to tell too. So, aren't you glad I got to be with my grandson last night? We're going to be seeing more of each other now. Been a long time. And with the time I have left, we've got to make good use of it. They like to travel. So I said, we are going to have to get together. We're going to have to meet at different places so it won't be so far for each of us. We can meet halfway. I think that's going to happen. And I think we're going to have a good relationship. So, folks, those of you who can still celebrate Father's Day, make the most of it. It'll be one you remember. I don't remember the last one I enjoyed. It was too many years ago, and I didn't know then it was going to be the last one. Take care of your dads. Dads, take care of your children. They're precious. So, before I cry, I'm going to cut you off. And you can go back and down the list of my stories. Look at one and say, I don't remember this one. Watch it. That'll make your day. I hope. I love all of you. You have been so faithful. I'm trying to reach the button to turn this off. And I think I just about got it.